Have you ever noticed how some of the most profound achievements often emerge from the quietest corners? How the grandest structures are built, brick by silent brick, long before they stand tall for all to see. There's a secret power in silence, a formidable strength in focused action that often goes unspoken, yet undeniably shapes our destinies. We live in a world that encourages sharing, where every aspiration is often broadcast instantly. And while connection is vital, there's a delicate balance we often overlook, especially when it comes to our most cherished dreams and ambitious goals. The very act of vocally declaring our intentions, while seemingly empowering, can sometimes become an invisible chain, preventing us from truly soaring. Consider Thomas. Thomas was a dreamer, a man whose mind brimmed with innovative ideas for a community project he passionately believed in. He envisioned a vibrant hub where art and education would intertwine, and he loved to talk about it. Oh, how he loved to talk. At every social gathering, every family dinner, Thomas would eloquently lay out his plans, describing the architectural marvel, the programs, the profound impact it would have. People would listen, nod, and offer encouraging words. That's amazing, Thomas. You're going to change things. Each approving comment, each shared vision, gave Thomas a rush, a premature sense of accomplishment. It felt good, almost as if the project was already underway. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and the project, for all its verbal grandeur, remained largely on paper. His initial surge of energy, instead of being channeled into actual design work, fundraising, or networking, dissipated into the ether of conversation. The constant need to explain, to defend, to elaborate, drained him. Sometimes he'd encounter skepticism, and that tiny seed of doubt, once planted, would begin to sprout, further eroding his resolve. Thomas, despite his noble intentions, was caught in the trap of talking himself out of action, expending his creative energy on describing, not building. This isn't an uncommon phenomenon. When we articulate our goals, especially with enthusiasm, our brains can sometimes misinterpret this verbalization as actual progress. We experience a false sense of satisfaction, a dopamine hit that mimics the reward of achievement itself. This premature satisfaction then subtly reduces the urgent motivation to put in the hard, often tedious, work. Why strive tirelessly when you've already received praise for merely conceptualizing? Furthermore, sharing goals too early can expose them to unnecessary scrutiny or negativity. The energy you spend convincing others or defending your nascent idea is energy diverted from execution. It's like trying to bake a cake by constantly describing the recipe to everyone, rather than actually mixing the ingredients and turning on the oven. Now, let me introduce you to David. David once walked a similar path to Thomas. He had big dreams for a tech startup, and for a while, he was just as vocal about them. But after a few false starts and much talk that led to little action, David had an epiphany. He observed a highly successful mentor who rarely spoke of future projects until they were well past the conceptual stage. This mentor simply, David decided to change his approach. He took his grand vision, his detailed plans, and instead of broadcasting them, he folded them away into the quiet corners of his mind. He committed to a new mantra: work in silence, let success make the noise. He started small, dedicating every spare moment to coding, to market research, to building prototypes. He declined invitations to discuss his future empire at social events. When asked what he was up to, he'd offered a vague, pull it, answer, deflecting attention from his nascent project. There were days of frustration, days of doubt, days when the temptation to share his progress, to seek validation, was immense. But he held firm. He learned to draw strength from the internal satisfaction of making tangible progress, no matter how small. He channeled all his energy, all his passion, into the doing. He made mistakes, learned from them in solitude, and quietly iterated months passed. Then, one day, David launched his product. It wasn't a grand announcement preceded by years of verbal fanfare. It was a quiet, confident release, and the product, refined through silent dedication, was exceptional. It resonated with users, solved a real problem, and quickly gained traction. The buzz around David's startup grew organically. Suddenly, Everyone was talking about his asterisk success, not his plans. He didn't have to convince anyone. The results spoke for themselves, louder and more persuasively than any words ever could. David's story, much like countless others, serves as a powerful reminder. There's no need to share everything with everyone, especially your most precious dreams and future plans, until real, undeniable progress has been made. The energy you save from not having to explain, defend, or seek approval is energy you can pour directly into action. So, the next time a brilliant idea sparks in your mind, or a grand goal takes root in your heart, consider the path of silent action. Talk less about what you will do, and focus more on what you are doing. Let your hands, your mind, your unwavering effort be your primary communicators. Because ultimately, the most compelling stories are not told with words, but with achievements. Let your success be the voice that echoes long after the quiet work is done. It's a path that demands discipline, but one that promises the most fulfilling and resounding victories.